Hello and welcome everyone to day 19 in this quest for a 2000 rating on chess.com. And so one of my viewers had a great piece of advice. He recommended that I talk more about what the opponent may play when it's their turn to make a move, and then what I might play against it. So I'll try and do that more if I haven't done that enough. All right, so let's find an opponent here. All right, we have the black pieces, and so they open with e4. We'll play e5 and see what they do. Knight to f3 attacking, so we'll defend. And now they'll either play, okay, so they play the Italian game. So we are going to respond with this. And interesting, so they play c3 here. So, I'm not as familiar with that. All right, probably I want to just go ahead and develop my knight here. And c3, well, I guess that is a common move at some point in the game. So probably just develop my knight. Let's see. Although, let's see. Should I go ahead and play this d6 move? Because they'll play here d5. If I capture, they capture. All right, I'll just play this and see what they do. Okay, well that's interesting. Should we go ahead and take space there? Or ignore that. We'll just go ahead and develop, attack their pawn in the center. Oh my gosh, okay. Oh, I made a mistake and they didn't realize it. They could have, well, my bishop could have been trapped there, I believe. All right, so let's definitely make an escape hatch for that bishop, and we'll have to check that out earlier, or check that out in the game review. I think they could have just trapped my bishop with b4 there. But they were probably worried about me sacrificing my bishop, attacking their king. If the king captures, then my knight could have captured that unprotected pawn. Okay, so now they are attacking. What should I do here? I guess we'll go all the way back. And they'll probably castle here, because I'm trying to see if it's any threat of me jumping up here. Okay, so now they're applying pressure this way. So let's go ahead, castle, see what they do next. Oh, could there be a problem now if he adds the pressure with this knight jumping down here? Yep, he went ahead and did that. So that kind of forces me to bring my queen over, I guess. All right. All right, so we have to protect with our queen. And then we should be able to chase that knight away. And I'm wondering if he moves forward and attacks my knight. So if he tries to do that, pushes his pawn, attacking my knight, I guess I could move my knight here and attack his queen and bishop at the same time. All right, so let's drive that knight out of there. We'll just get that knight to back away, to at least make a decision on what to do. And I didn't even check his rating, so he's a 15-18. All right, so pretty much he should probably retreat here, back to knight to f3. I guess he's thinking, should I capture here? But if he captures, I just capture his knight, and then he'll give up 2 pieces for a knight, or for a pawn and a rook, and you don't usually want to do that. All right, so now what? Do I attack his bishop here? I could try and do that. Attack the bishop. Probably go ahead and do that. But I don't know, that's my good bishop and his bad bishop, so do I really want to do that? Should I? Now I'm torn on what to do here. I need to develop this bishop, so let's go ahead and do it. We'll just develop the bishop, see what he does. All right, and if he trades off, I mean, right now we are a little bit more developed than him. Do we want to double our pawns or capture with the queen? So I don't know, we'll go here and just see what he does. At least now his queen's under attack. If he captures, we just capture towards the center. And then we have an extra pawn that we can use to maybe push forward here. Oh, I just thought of a possibility. If I push forward here with this B pawn and he captures and I capture, I could capture capture this pawn with check and then pick off his unprotected rook. If it comes to that, maybe something different will happen in the game. Okay. Well, now do I want to capture that? Let's go ahead and push forward and see what he does. Alrighty. Well, he could just push his pawn forward and close things up there. Then, maybe we want to bring our knight down here. That way we can capture with the knight and avoid doubled pawns, and be able to push this pawn forward. Let's see. All right, what else could he do? He could just capture a queen right now. Okay, so he must have seen the potential problems there. All right, is there a way we could take advantage, like try and knock this knight out of there? Um, let's see, let's see. Hmm. All right, all right. What do we have? Do we knock that queen out of there? That would just bring his knight forward. But then what would that knight be doing? I don't know if we want to help him develop or not. Um, let's see, let's see. We could capture, the knight comes forward. Maybe we move this knight out of the way. Hmm. All right. Do we move over here and attack his, like, bring our queen up here, get him to maybe push this pawn forward? Then we could retreat back. We could retreat back to here maybe. No, he could attack us if we go back to g6. All right. Well, now we're just burning time. So, what do we want to do here? Let's see. All right, let's get rid of the queen. And then should we push forward here? Should we push forward? No, because then it'll give that knight access. All right, let's reposition this knight here. And see what he chooses to do. All right, all right. Now we have the chance to possibly jump up here with the F pawn and attack his E pawn. Hmm. Okay, so he decides to attack there. So let's go ahead. Do we want to start capturing? Do we want to ignore that? Let's knock that out. Just see what he decides to do. Okay, well now we can get a pawn out of that. Let's go ahead and snatch that up. And just see what he plans next. Now we could possibly threaten the bishop, but you know, where does this knight go after that? Here, here, maybe back here. All right, so what will he do? What will the opponent do? He could try and just, I don't know, capture with this weak isolated pawn. He could try and capture here, but I could capture towards the center. Then he might try and attack this knight. If I go here, he could always push his g-pawn, cut off the escape of this knight. But if I move here to d3, I'll be attacking his bishop. So then what would be best? Okay, so, oh, well, now I can just knock that bishop out by attacking the rook and the bishop at the same time. Okay. Well, probably want to do that, knock out. All right, let's go ahead and attack his rook. Then we'll pick off his bishop. Then we can attack his rook again. And maybe we can get time to push this other pawn forward if our bishop wasn't having issues here. Do we push forward here with this other pawn? That's what I'm thinking. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Do we go ahead and pick this pawn off? Then his rook would recapture. Then what? Then what? I think we'll keep his isolated pawn in that position. So we'll go ahead and do that. Then we'll push forward, see what he does. All right. Okay, interesting that he would choose to go there. Now we can attack that knight, or we could ignore that, go up here. Might as well just pick off this pawn. Then we could jump our bishop up to here. So if he brings his knight in here, what could he threaten? All right. Should I just attack him immediately? If he moves here, or here. You could attack that. All right, we'll just go there. And then go after that guy. All right. Well, now we can push forward here. Oh, we might as well do that. Get our pawn moving. And then trade material down. Are we ahead? We're ahead of pawn, so we might as well just trade off material. Let's see. Should we attack there? Should we attack that other knight? I think we'll do that. We'll just attack. All right, now we are attacking his knight. We're protecting this pawn. All right. Well, we could just guard this. All right. Just go ahead and guard that. If he jumps here, checking us, then where can he go that would cause us problems? He could jump right up there. Then what? Possibly going here. We could move. Have to watch out that this knight doesn't start jumping all around. So if he checks us here, okay, so he doesn't do that. Let's go ahead and stop that knight from being able to move forward and check us with oh, wait, is that another threat there? He might have another threat of bringing this rook over here and lining up on our king. All right, let's try that, and then we'll go after his knight. All right, so what might he do here? He might just pick off this pawn. And if he does that, he'll most likely lead off with the knight. Then we just capture. His rook comes down. Let's see. All right. Okay. If he picks off the pawn with the knight, we just capture with the bishop. Okay, so he decides to retreat back. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Well, now I guess we should just start pushing our pawn forward. Oh, okay, wait a minute. He might try and push this forward. Would he do that, though? All right. Okay. We need to push this past pawn. All right, let's go here. Get ready to push our passed pawn. See if he tries to stop it. And he'll most likely just put a rook in front of it. Okay, so he did. All right, now what can we do? All right, how can we make progress here? Well, let's try that. At least the rooks protect each other now. All right. Okay. Now what should we try? We'll go here, try and take control of this open file. If I could get this bishop, just trying to see where to put this bishop. If I could get it up here, maybe. Okay, so he's thinking about jumping forward. All right, well, if we go here, all right, let's just retreat far away, and we'll go up here and threaten to take control of the 7th rank, and attack this pawn. what will he do? Jump forward with this knight? And our time is running down pretty low here. So, okay, what is he thinking? I mean, I would imagine he wants to put that knight on d5, which would be a good outpost here, and blocking my pawn. From there he could threaten to jump here and attack a rook, but my rook is planning to go up here to c2. Let's see. Man, he could just push. No, he can't move this pawn. So I need to jump up here, get my rooks up towards his side of the board. And we still have the advantage of this passed pawn here. Okay, if he brings his knight into d5, then where might he go? He could try and go here and attack my other rook. Go here. Knight to d5. And then what? If he goes here, and then over here trying to attack my bishop could end up just moving back here to c5. All right, so my plan is to bring the bishop up here to c2. So maybe he would... Well, even if I did that... Okay, so he goes there to help protect things. But at least now my pawn is cutting him off. Let's go ahead with our plan. We'll move up there. Would he think about sacrificing his knight for these two pawns? So if he captures on b4, I capture, his rook captures. He has a passed pawn over here. So I don't know though. Then I could just... well, he has to be careful also with back rank mating threats. All right. Okay. So he's trying to trade off material. I should just probably go ahead and do that. So if I go ahead and do that, and he takes, I take, then if he moves his knight, we'll just double up there. So now I could, maybe I should have done that already. If I capture, he's forced to capture with the knight. Yeah, I should have captured already. Now he can just put his other rook over here and protect. But I should have captured. His knight would have had to capture. Then I could attack his knight But then he could just move back here to where he was. All right. Well, should we attack his other... Should we attack his knight? Maybe that would be a good move. Oh, wait a minute. Can we just go ahead and take this pawn? No, because then he could capture us. And... okay, so that doesn't work. Do we try that? Threaten to capture his knight. All right. Well, now we pretty much have to do that, right? Yes. All right. My king is kind of stuck in the corner. I need to activate my king as well. All right, at least his knight can't move, or we pick this pawn off, his F pawn over here. All right. All right. Well, okay, what might he do? Would he try to attack my rook with his rook? Then what? Do I just capture? No, if he does that, if he attacks our rook or my rook with his rook, then what? Do I attack his knight? His knight will have to move. Then we can pick this off. With check. All right. Okay. Do we attack that? Do we just go ahead and attack that pawn? Or do we just move in here? We'll just go ahead and do that. See what he does. And I'm in time trouble now, so I probably should look at trading off these rooks. So maybe I should go here. If I move my bishop up, Can't. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. What is he trying to do there? All right, we'll go ahead and check him. Then we can pick this off. Or do we go after his knight? Let's see. Should we pick off another pawn here? All right, we'll go ahead and do that. All right. Right, we'll go there. Go there. Go there. All right, what now? What now? Sorry, I haven't been talking. I'm like so focused on this, trying to stop this passed pawn here. Oh my gosh. And not run out of time. Alright, so if he attacks my bishop, and then I'll have to attack, then he can check me and start trying to push this pawn forward. Okay. What can we do? Oh my gosh. Well, we might as well do that. Start pushing our passed pawn. I mean, we should be winning. Even if we have to give up our bishop, we still have 4 pawns. But I don't know. All right, well, now we can pick off this guy. So that is good for us. Now we should be winning. That was his one advantage, was having that passed pawn, but now that that's gone, and if he takes our bishop, that'll just help me. Yeah, trade down more material. That just helps. Okay, yeah, that just helped me even more. All right. Let's see. We go there. Yeah, we're winning now. We'll just go here, and then we can just start marching these pawns up over here. And if his king moves, we just push this pawn forward. And we'll just attack him. If his king moves. All right, we'll just do that. And if his king tries to come down here, well, then we can just push this pawn forward. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Then we can get our king, get these pawns moving and get our king up. We'll just do that. Then we'll go there. And so now he's stuck because we're just going to push this pawn forward. There's no way he can stop that. I mean, he could try and there's no stalemate possibility. Although we do have to watch out. Okay, so there we go. Come on, stupid mouse. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I had a mouse problem there. Definitely need another mouse. Okay. Well, let's just push that one forward and we'll get 2 queens. Well, now we can just mate him in one move. I mean, he can move up here, I guess, and block. But we have a mate here. All right. Oh, that was a crazy game. Okay. We'll just capture that and then mate him on the next move here. All right. Okay, that went quite a while. I'm not sure how long I've been playing, but we'll do a quick game review and see what kind of mess we had there. Okay, so I played at 82.9 versus his 74.8, and it looks like he was ahead there until, I don't know, I kind of got the advantage for quite some time, and then I must have messed up here and the game was almost even again before I ended up winning. All right. Inaccuracies, he had 8, I had 6. Mistakes, he had 6, I had 3. He had 2 misses and I had 1. We didn't have any blunders. All right, let's start this review. So it's blasting through the moves here. It says that this knight move was a mistake. Oh yeah, because he had the chance to trap my bishop here with b4 and then a5. Well, why would that even be a good move to back up there? If it wants me to put my bishop back here, but then he could, okay, he couldn't attack it right away because my knight is covering a5, so he couldn't push that pawn. All right. So, yeah, he missed the opportunity to trap my bishop. So, thankfully, he didn't notice that. And I'll go over that more in the analysis. All right, so we traded off. Moving my knight forward, it did like that move. So he attacks, but then that allows me to jump up here and fork his rook and his bishop and take his bishop. All right, so yeah, we had some moves that the computer did not like here. It wanted him to bring that king towards the center earlier. Oh, excuse me. All right, so here, instead of checking, it wanted me to bring the bishop up to here and attack his knight. Okay. Yeah, that probably would have been a better move to try and go after his knight. Okay, so I capture here. It did not like that knight move. It says that is a miss. Knight to b3 would have been better, going after this pawn. Then he could have tried to get a passed pawn on the a file. Yeah, I think he just misplayed the end game here. All right, I'll blast through the rest of the moves and then I'll take a look at the analysis. And he should not have, okay, he shouldn't have traded down his knight either at the end. It says you really outplayed your opponent in that one. The opening was balanced. Both of you navigated the middle game well. You outmaneuvered your opponent in the end game. So I played at 1800 level. They played at 1500. Opening 86.6 for them, 89.9 for me. Middle game 73.7 for them, and I had 82. And then 63.6 for their end game, and I had 81. So the end game definitely helped me there. Yeah, remember, study your end games, because a lot of people neglect the end game, and I don't know, you can save a lot of games and win a lot of games if you play the end game pretty decent. All right, let's look at the analysis from the beginning here. Okay, e4, e5, knight to f3, and I defend the pawn, the Italian game. So then I play the Giuoco piano. So they play c3. So this is a main line, and I'm gonna have to take a look at what is best to play against this. The computer recommends retreating the bishop or knight to f6, and I think knight to f6, is that what I played? No, I played d3. So, or yeah, d3. I played d6. So that's the third recommended move. It looks like just developing the knight is what they recommend as the number one move. So I go here to help fortify my pawn. I was thinking, well, if he attacks my bishop and I have to retreat, and then he attacks my knight, he could go after this pawn. But if my knight was developed here on f6, then I could go after his pawn, I guess. All right. a4 is good, but d4, immediately attacking in the center, would have been better. And now knight to f6 is a mistake because I overlooked that they can trap my bishop. So instead, I should have retreated my bishop to b6 here. Or if I pushed my a pawn up to a6 or a5, but it looks like the bishop retreat is what they like the best there. All right, so that's the mistake, and then they missed. They should have, I'll show you the trap here for the bishop. They should have played b4, and then here it says that the best move is to capture, king capture, pawn captures, then king to g1. Or e1, but g1 gives white the most advantage. So interesting. I give up 2 pawns for my bishop, which is not enough, but they can't castle. So I don't know. That would have left them with the advantage. It's saying plus 1.5. If white's ahead plus 1.5. So definitely got lucky there. So I need to take a closer look at this opening. All right, so back to the game. They played d3 and overlooked this opportunity to trap my bishop. So then I was like, whoa, yeah, they could get my bishop. So I made an escape square there. They attack, I retreat. The queen moves over here to b3, lining up, creating a battery with the queen and bishop on f7. Better would have been for them to castle. So I go ahead and castle, which was best. They bring their knight forward, putting more pressure here. But better would have been to castle. So now black is ahead, actually. And queen to d7, which was... Oh, actually, I moved to e7. And it's saying d7 would have been better. Interesting, interesting. All right. Excuse me. Or is it saying queen to e8? Queen to e8? Anyway, the queen has to guard here, help guard the f-pawn. So now they castle, but rook to a2 would have been better. So I chased their knight away, and the computer says that's excellent, but knight to d8 would have been better. Oh, okay. Knight to d8, and then I could move my bishop up here, after chasing this knight away, and then I wouldn't have to double up pawns there. So I go here, capture. And I thought they were going to double pawns, capture and have me double pawns, but I guess they were worried about the half open F file giving me counterplay. So now, better would have been to capture. So computer recommends capturing, and then black would have only been slightly ahead. And the doubled pawns could have helped me fortify the center, give me play down the F file maybe, but I mean, they could just push this F pawn up to here, and who knows if I would have had much. So B5 is an inaccuracy. Now after that move, white is ahead. Better would have been to just go ahead and capture. Let me go, well, let's take a look. No, the best move would have been D5 to just start attacking in the center here. All right. Boom. Better would have been once again to exchange queens. So I go ahead and capture, and it says that that's good, but once again, D5 would have been better. So capture. I retreat back, that way I can push my F pawn. They start attacking in the middle, and it says that is an inaccuracy, and now black is in the lead. Better would have been bishop to C1, repositioning the bishop. So I capture, which is best, because now, let's see, they capture this way, which is excellent, but better would have been to capture with the knight. Which is what I thought they were going to do, because now I'm able to pick off a pawn. They attack, but that is a mistake, because let's see, better would have been just bishop to C3 to attack. And then what? I'd probably have to retreat. So they attack. That allows me to jump up here and fork the rook and the bishop, trade off their bishop, but better would have been to capture. All right, let's take a look at that. If I would have captured immediately, their knight would have to move. So they recommend capture. Oh, and I guess they could capture me, and then I would recapture here. The only thing I didn't like about that is that now they could pick off this. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that variation, because I saw that this could be picked off, but rook at F to B1. So now they're saying I should go ahead and attack with something like, well, actually, let's see here. If we go back. So once I do that, now it's their turn, and they're saying rook at F to B1 to attack this pawn. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we could take a look at that. And then C5. And now it's saying, either capture or just retreat back. All right, so if I retreat back, well, then we have rook at F to B8. So we go ahead and do that. And then D5. Or capture once again, but D5 is the most recommended move. So C4. Anyway, before I start getting too deep into this, it recommends that I just push forward, protecting here. And the whole time this rook could capture here, and then maybe threaten to capture here. I mean, I guess this bishop could move over here and protect. But anyway, before we go too deep into that line, so we jump up here in the game, forking the rook and the bishop. The rook attacks. We capture. So both of those were the best moves according to the computer. They capture. I move up, attacking. I get a passed pawn. Now I play this move, which was best. C5, threatening to trade off a pawn, but hopefully, I don't know, maybe activating this bishop up here. So they jump down here, and it says that's excellent, but better would have been just moving the rook over. So I capture, and that says that's excellent, but I should have activated this rook instead. So let's go back and look at that. All right. Yeah, that probably would have been best to just put my rook on this half-open file here. All right, anyway, I capture. Now it's saying the knight should have just jumped up here, which is kind of what I was expecting, him to possibly jump here and attack, and then I could go here, and then he would pick off this pawn. So I attack him, forcing him to move, but it says I should have brought my knight up here, attacking his pawn. Now he jumps up here, and both knights are piling up along with the rook, so this pawn is a goner. I push forward to protect this pawn. It says that's excellent, but knight to c5 immediately would have been better. So he goes there, I jump up here, and it's still the best move. Capture. And here I debated whether to capture with the pawn or the bishop. And I thought if I capture with the bishop would have a good angle through the middle of the board. So the computer does not like that. And it even says it's a mistake, that I should have captured with the pawn. So we'll take a look at the pawn capture. So capture, well, that would immediately drive the knight away. Oh man, yeah, drives the knight away, and then I can start pushing forward. So here it's saying knight to f5 or knight to b5, but then I could just push forward even more. So we'll go with knight to f5. And then, now I just push these two passed pawns forward. And it's saying knight to e7. I jump up here. And then it recommends knight to d5, attacking my unprotected bishop. And now we have a bishop retreat. And then rook at a to c1. And then, of course, this pawn is under attack. And it's saying that I should back up the pawn. And, well, you get the picture. I have two passed pawns, and they're going to be very dangerous over here. So, that gives us a pretty good advantage if we would have played it that way. All right, so going back, knight captures on c5. The bishop captured. And then he responded with knight to f5, but that's an inaccuracy. Better would have been knight to b3. All right, so let's take a look at knight to b3. Knight to b3 attacks the bishop and this pawn, which is protected. So now it recommends just attacking his pawn, and then here knight to d2. Just move back and protect this. And then rook at a to b8. Get ready to push this pawn. But I guess the knight is doing a job of trying to block that as well. But now the rook can help push it forward. And here the computer's not sure. Now it's saying rook at a to c8. So let me go back. it's thinking rook at A to C8. Take the open file. All right. Well, now rook at A to C1 to fight for the open file. Bishop to A7 it looks like is best. And king. Anyway, I don't know. This gives us an idea of what could have occurred. It looks like it wants the king to come out towards the center. And now, let's see, rook to C3 to try and double up rooks here, I'm assuming. So now, recommends knight to C4. And then rook takes E4. Knight takes A5. Yeah, and then it just turns into a big mess here. Rook to F4. Huh. You'd think, well, I don't know. It says to just go back here. You think I'd maybe protect this pawn. But then we have F3, bishop to E3, attacking here. All right, before I get down, into the rabbit hole and into a long line here, let's go back. So, capture, knight to F5. So then we move up, and better would have been rook at F to E8 to just attack here. So rook to D3 is a miss. Better would be to bring the king towards the center. My king moves here, and this is an inaccuracy. Once again, it says, why are you not bringing your knight over here, or your rook over here, to stop that knight from jumping down to attack the pawn? So finally I go there and it says that is best. The knight retreats, saying that is best, protecting this pawn. And now rook to B8, getting ready to push this pawn forward, so he blocks. Then we kind of double our rooks up here to help protect this, but that is an inaccuracy. It says instead I should have just swung this rook over here to this open file. All right. So now we just do some maneuvering. Finally, I get a rook over here and it likes it. I retreat the bishop. I have the open file. I jump up here and it says that's best. I'm putting pressure on this F pawn that's pinned to the king. He attacks, but G3 would have been better. Now it's saying I should have just traded off material there. Let's see. So I jump up here. Let's go back. We'll take a quick look at that. It's saying I should have captured there. And then he moves forward or over with his king. But he should have captured me. So I jump up. Once again, it wants me to capture. He captures, I capture. Then he starts pushing his pawns. But king moving towards the center would have been better. All right. F6 is good to try and slow his pawns down, but rook to A2 would have been better, going after this pawn. All right. Well, now he repositions his knight, and the computer does like that move. Check. The king moves over. And here I was wondering if I should have just immediately captured this pawn, and then I could threaten to capture this with a check. But I mean, yeah, and I guess he couldn't protect that. So, yeah, so that was right. I should have just immediately captured this. if he picked off this, I could capture the other pawn with check. So we'll take a look at that. So it's saying I should have gone here. Then he would capture here. I would capture with check. The king would move to d1. Oh, and then here I should probably just trade off material. But it says bishop to e3 instead is better. Bishop to e3. King. Ooh. It says king to d3. Oh, attacking my rook. All right. Then rook to e7. Knight to e2. All right, bishop to g5. Anyway, you get the picture. That's what the computer recommended. So, king to e1. Let's see. So, how did we go in the game? Let's take a look at this. So, we check the king. He moves over. We move up here to protect our pawn. He just captures anyway. You know, and maybe here I should have just gone ahead and captured. Let's see. Nope, it's saying I should have attacked the knight. All right, so let's take a look at that. Attacking the knight would have been better. So if I attack, come on. So, boom. Instead, it's saying attack the knight. Then we would have what? Rook to d1 protecting. Rook to d1, bishop to e3, putting more pressure on that knight. Knight to b3, attacking this. Pick that off. A knight capturing a5 is not the best move. Interesting. Saying g3. Then bishop to e5. And once again, it doesn't want to immediately capture this. It wants rook to d3, I guess, to stop this passed pawn. But now we could just jump up here maybe. Bishop to c3 check. King to d1. Rook takes here. Okay, you get the picture. So let's move on. In the game, what did we have? We had rook captures, rook captures. Rook to c6. The computer did not like that. It wanted rook to d3. And then we make a mistake here that it does not like. Better would have been bishop to e3. So if we go back and take a quick look at that. Bishop to e3 attacking the knight. The knight would go here. We would pick this off. And then the knight would capture here, leaving this passed pawn, which does not look too great. But we can go here. Attacks us. And then, capture here. Then it's saying e5. Oh, okay, that can't be captured. We'd have to capture with this, not with the bishop, because the rook would be picked off. So then after that, it's saying rook to b6. Then rook to b1. King to g2 attacking the bishop. The bishop would move. Ooh. Then rook to b5. So here, attacking this. Then e4. Yeah, then we start pushing this one as well. And then Let's see, rook to e5, get behind the passed pawn. And then bishop to a7. Anyway, all right, I'm going to end this video here. We still have a few more moves to go through. So we did that. We checked. The king runs. We check again. The king continues to run, finding all the best moves. Bishop to e7, retreat. That is not one of the best moves. And inaccuracy, better would have been bishop to g1. So now e5 is a mistake. Knight to b3 would have been better. We capture. They capture, but better would have been to move the rook. So we attack their knight, and that is a miss. The game is almost close to equal after that. Better would have been to just pick off this pawn. So now we have this move. The rook swings over here, and that's an inaccuracy. Rook to d1 with check would have been better. So now our bishop is under attack. We retreat. They attack again. We go over here. Let me see. Yeah, so we retreat again. But now this is marching forward. So we bring the bishop down here to stop that pawn. And better would have been rook to b6. So here we should have checked with rook to a3. So now they're going after our rook. We pick this pawn off. They protect this pawn, kind of move into our position. And they want to pick our bishop off. Knight to c3 would have been better. So rook to a2 check. Now we have an attack, but this traps the king on the back rank. The king should have moved in towards the center. But I guess he wants to stop these pawns. So now capturing over here is an inaccuracy. It would have been better to just start pushing the pawns forward. All right, so attack of our bishop. I'm surprised he didn't just start pushing forward here. So now we keep an eye on that pawn getting behind it. And it says we should have checked the king. All right, so finally we start pushing the pawns forward. And my opponent, I think he's just trying to run me out of time. So we capture, he captures, and that just helps us. He shouldn't have. Well, I don't know. Now here it's saying that's the best move. Oh, okay, because we're threatening a mate over here possibly, or at least jumping up here and trading the rooks off. So he gets rid of that. And then he goes after the pawn, but it would have been better to bring the king over. We protect the pawn. He goes after that one. We protect. And here, you know, if he trades off material, we'll just march these pawns over here. All right, so we just push forward. Yeah, and black is winning at this point. We just move our king up a little bit. We're threatening to push the pawns. Now he attacks with king to c1, but that allows this pawn push. But the computer does not even look at that. It says rook to e4 would have been better. So, what is the computer? Oh, now it's saying that's best. So maybe it just didn't see that move at first. If we go back, now it is saying that that's the best move by far. And it's funny, the computer didn't even find that earlier. So now we play that. It's saying rook to a7 check is best, which is what he does, but now our king can march forward, check, and then we escape up here. And so he captures, we queen, you know, he goes here. He didn't want to capture and then trade off the last two pieces and then just march these pawns up. All right, so but now we're marching the other pawn forward. So we have this, A2. Yeah, and so the game's pretty much over here. This is where it ended, with a mate. All right, well, sorry that video was so long. If you stuck around for the entire time, I thank you. We're closing in on 1600, so that'll be a milestone. We're at 1585 now. Hopefully here soon we'll break 1600 and then keep trying to go higher. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Feel free to leave comments, suggestions, any requests for what you would like to see in the future, improvements. All suggestions and requests are welcome. Thank you, everyone, and have a super chess day.